Welcome to Opening the Door to the Unknown with your host, Dr. Clark Schmidt. Hello, and welcome to Opening the Door to and welcome to the studio of Opening the Door to the Unknown. I'm your host, Dr. Clark Schmidt. Do you believe in demons? I believe in demons, but not in the sense of 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 uh, of hell resident demons or with Satan. But I do believe in demons, and I'll give you my explanation in just a few moments. We have a balance: light, dark, night, day, wet, dry, good, bad, well, sick, life, death, black, white, balance. But we had to have one particular type of balance, which was or is God, devil. God, devil, balance for good and evil. If we didn't have this balance, we would be off kilter. Believe me, we'd be off kilter. For an example, if you live in Alaska, you know that with 6 months of the year is that you have darkness. 6 months of the year you have light. Say that Alaska only had darkness instead of 6 months, it's 12 months. Or say Alaska has light, not 6 months, but 12 months. Where's the balance? Now it's gone. You're always well. You never get sick. You never die. It never rains. It's always shiny. Let's see. I'm trying to think of one more here real quick. Black and white for colors. All right. You have to have balance. And here's what happened. Two things happened that was written in the Bible. Writing number one is that cosmic consciousness created man, and man needed an opposite, woman. So cosmic consciousness created a female to keep the balance. Well, female learned how to release the kundalini energy as to begin to gain knowledge. Man never learned the secret. So he was still in the ninth months stage. You might say, born, but not learning anything yet. Where woman is starting to drink in. Okay? Then all of a sudden Adam, man, cracked his kundalini, and all of a sudden, wow, now there's a balance. Man, woman started to learn things which they weren't supposed to learn. So what happened is is that the source said, "Hey, what's this?" And they weren't going to answer because they weren't going to lie. But they got kicked out of paradise anyways. That's one. That's one part of the Bible. How man and woman screwed up. So when they got kicked out, now they had to learn is that to survive you had to work. You had to become. You had to grow your own crops. You had, you had to learn how to take. You were gonna, how you had to learn how to take care of yourself, or you were going to perish. Let's just put it that way. Okay, that was their punishment for doing something they weren't supposed to do. Okay. Now, the writers came out with the idea. Well, we do not have laws yet. Which was what? The Ten Commandments from Moses. Not for quite some time. So, the writers wrote about good and evil, God and the devil, and how did the devil come about? Well, by having a war. And what were these devils? They were angels under the leadership of Lucifer, who now became, after a while, by getting his ass kicked out of heaven, is that he became Satan. But there was an actual Satan. It was King Satan that was the king of Babylon. And what the writers did is that they just took off a couple of letters and called Lucifer, aka Satan, as an alias, as to keep a balance of light, dark, good, bad. But you see, is that people who begin to think, really think, began to believe that maybe there is no Satan in the sense Lucifer having that alias. And why? Again, this, like I mentioned about as above, so below, they never finished out the statement. As above, so below, as below, so above. Well, it's just like with Satan, is that there has to be some reason that there cannot be a Satan. And here's the reason. And it's a mind blower. It really is a mind blower. Is that when the source, the cosmic consciousness, created the angels, is that it did not give them a soul, and it did not give them free will. Aha. Two things that were lacking with angels. Well, actually, there was actually four things lacking from angels, but the main two was soul and excuse me, and free will. The purpose of angels being created was for messengers and as for helpers. Not for the source, but for us. Okay? That was the main reason why the source created angels. Again, for help, for messengers, and also to help us in time of need. What else were the angels lacking? Well, wings. All right? Angels were not created with wings. Only birds had wings. In fact, if you ever read in the Bible, or if you ever hear somebody talk about that they had an experience with an angel, they always say a man or a woman came to help. Well, you didn't hear them talk about, well, yeah, it had wings like expanded out 10 to 20 feet, because there were no wings that angels received, that angels got, that angels were created with. And as for sex, they were androgynous. So how could the fallen angels have sex with humans? Unless you were talking about, or was being written, that these so-called fallen angels were aliens. That I can understand. But to have actual sex, no, because they were androgynous. They didn't have male or female sex organs. Okay. We were created with sex organs, a soul, free will. Again, no wings. Okay? So, you could not have Satan, Lucifer, aka Satan, being in the realm of hell or Sheol. And hell just means being buried below ground. Sheol, being buried below ground. Jesus went to hell. He was buried. If you go along with that story that he was buried for 3 days, he went to hell, and then after 3 days, he arose, came back from hell. Well, I can tell you that Jesus never visited hell because there was no hell to visit. It's what we create in our minds. Okay? It's what we create in our minds through using using willpower, the power to will what we want. If a person believes that there's going to be hell, you're going to will that there's going to be a hell. You're going to believe that there's going to be a hell. When you die, you're going to go to hell because of the bad things that you did on this plane of existence. That is the punishment that you get. But God does not, but the one, the source, the cosmic consciousness, does not send anybody to hell to meet Lucifer, aka Satan. Because Satan, in that sense, besides the king of Babylon, exists. That's the only existence of Satan. Like I said, the writers just snipped off a couple of letters and used the word Satan. Okay? We've been hoodwinked, people. We've been hoodwinked. And it's not a shame, but we need that balance. Good, bad. Laws are created. You break a law, you're going to be punished. You're going to be punished for it. You don't break a law, everything's going to work out just fine. It's that simple. Okay? If you think is that you've done some really nasty crap during your lifetime, and when you slip out, when your astral finally slips out of the physical and cannot return because the silver cord has been cut, and here you are hanging around in some lower astral someplace, happen to see other spirits going blah, 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 or whatever. They're in their own dream. They are in their own dream world, believe it or not. And you can't join. You cannot join that club. The only club that you can join is by creating like they are creating. They're creating their own hell. Okay? They are actually creating their own hell. Now, again, can you get out of your own creation? Of course, because you're creating it. Again, it's just like, again, it's just like the ladder with the steps. You start from the first rung, then you go to the second rung. You go to the third rung. You go to the fourth rung. And until you are in a higher plane or a higher plane of existence in the astral. Okay? Nobody can cross you over. Nobody can put you in the white light and cross you over. All right? It's just that simple. Can't be done. It's BS. You have to learn how to stop creating your own hell. And once you learn how to do that, then it's very simple to start moving upwards. All right. Can you be possessed by these so-called demons? And again, what are these demons classified as? Well, here it comes. Rapists, pillagers, plunderers, murderers, liars, alcoholics, drug addicts, serial killers, husband beaters, cheaters, income taxes, to have a mistress or gentleman on the side, a sugar daddy, if you want to call him that. Those are the demons that are residing in the lower planes. Okay? And they like it there. Believe it or not, they like it there. Why? Because they enjoyed it on this side. Why should you give something up just because you're not residing in the physical? So when you pass and you were one of those demons, is that you're going to still enjoy it on the other side. Okay? It's just like if you were in prison for 10 years and finally got paroled because you were in prison and somebody was telling you how to eat, breathe, somebody telling you how to live your life for 10 years. And once you get onto the outside, you do not like it because you don't know what to do. Why? It's because somebody inside was telling you how to live. So what do? To get back inside the joint, you commit a crime that you know that you're going to be put back inside, and you're more happy. You are comfortable because that's the way it's been for 10 years. You didn't have to do anything. You didn't have to think for yourself because somebody was always thinking for you. Get it? It sounds mean, but to the person who's residing in prison, they really don't care. They got everything that they want. Hey, just ask Charlie Manson. He'll tell you. He said, why should I get out? He says, I got everything I want. If I want sex, he can have sex. If he wants this, he can have that. He gets 3 squares a day. If he wants to work, he can work. If he doesn't want to work, he can loaf around. He can do, But somebody still has to tell him, though, what to do. And it's just like on the other side. Nobody's telling you, no angels, no wardens, no guards, not even the source is telling you what to do, because you still have free will. you still have conscious thought. And like I said, if you were over here doing crap, then why should you give it up while you're over there? It's only the people that want to advance, that want to make better of themselves spiritually, or with humanity, is that they're going to follow, once they get out of prison, they're going to follow the law. They're not going to break the law anymore because they learned their lesson by going into prison. It's just like when we pass, if you want to get yourself out of the rut, if you will, then that's what you do. You learn how to get out of that rut by learning, by gaining knowledge. Just again, just like with the climbing the rungs of the ladder. So my question was, can a person be possessed by these particular demons? In a sense, yes, and in a way, no. All right, let me explain. A medium goes into trance. He vacates the physical body with his astral, goes out into the astral, lets another spirit come in, a guide teacher, a master teacher. The guide teacher, master teacher, stays for so long and gives their spiel on whatever it is, the message that's supposed to be given to that particular person that they are teaching, guiding, whatever. When the medium's astral wants to return, even though there's a spirit that has taken over, they have to finish up real quick, boom, 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 and then have to vacate to allow the astral to return into the physical. And the reason why is no two objects can occupy the same space at the same time. All right? Now, you might have a walk-in come in for maybe a moment or two, and then zips out. It cannot stay in the physical vessel, because already there is something residing inside. You might have a demon that might want to do some nasty. It's like a walk-in, boom, does this thing, boom, walks out and has to leave. Why? Again, there's already a spirit residing inside. Remember, no two objects can occupy the same space at the same time. All right? Now, with exorcism, were there actual exorcisms? Yes, back in the 12th and 13th century with the church. Yes. It just made it look good. Like the church was the power over the people. In fact, the church had more power than the king or the queen. Whatever the church said went. There was no discussion. It was like, we the boss, you are the peasant, even though you are the king or the queen. That's how much power that's how much power the church has. Does it still have that much power? I don't think so. Not like they used to going back. All right. So was there exorcisms? Yes. Like I said, it made it look good. Oh, an evil spirit entered the person, has taken over, and the reaction of the person is like a demon would do, talking in tongues and swearing and making the person gyrate and all that. Well, gotta remember, back in the 12th and 13th century and upwards, is that they didn't know about Alzheimer's. They didn't know about bipolarism. They didn't know about schizophrenia. They did not know about paranoia, which means for mental disease. All they knew about is calling upon Christ and calling upon God to help them exorcise, get rid of that demon that was possessing the person. Okay? Now, they believe is that they actually got rid of that demon, and the person was all right. But you can take somebody that's bipolar, and even though they're not taking the drugs that they're supposed to, they can become normal for a while and all of a sudden can revert. Or you can take the person who is schizophrenic, can become normal for a while and revert. You can have somebody who's paranoid, can be normal for a while and they can convert. You have a person that has Tourette's, is that becomes normal and they can convert. I know. I worked in. I worked in different wards, so I know. I've had the experience of working with these people. All right. So it's not like just second guessing on this. It's just like I said, because I have had experience working with. I have had experience working with schizophrenics, paranoics. Alzheimer's, not too much with Tourette's, all right. The bipolar, and so I've seen what the mind can actually do with the body, all right. And the mind, again, is very powerful. Again, once a person learns how to use willpower or the power to will, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. And yes, there's a trick to it. Like anything else in life, there's always a trick. You have to learn. You have to learn. So, I'm going to call these particular demons criminal demons, because that's what they are. They were criminals on this plane of existence. They're the same criminals that passed over to be in that plane of existence. No major changes besides life to death. They're still the same. Haven't changed. And they like it again. They like it to where they're at. And that's the reason they don't want to change. And can they cause havoc with a person? Oh, very much so. Oh, hell yeah, they can cause havoc. You might say, is that sometimes a poltergeist activity can be caused by a demon. That sense. You might get scratched by a demon in that sense, with using the word demon. You might hear voices in that sense with that demon. You might be using the spirit. You might be using the spirit box, and somebody might say, "You're a whore. You're a bastard. You prick. You son of a bitch. I'm going to come and kill you. We're going to come and take you away. The devil, Satan is going to come, and Satan's going to kill you." Well, again, there is no Satan unless King Satan from Babylon is going to come and murder you. And I never heard of King Satan coming to murder anybody. I never even heard of Satan coming to murder anybody. It's just, what's the old expression? Who did that? Flip Wilson. The devil made me do it. You see, you have to have an excuse. Oh, the devil made me do this. The devil made me do that. Always blame poor Lucifer, aka Satan. Satan this, Satan that. That poor guy. I'm telling you, I don't know why he right when the source said anybody want to be the devil's advocate, raise their hand. I guess somebody took a pin, got him in the keister, and he went, oh! Because that's all you hear. The devil made me do it. Satan made me do it. Well, I'm afraid that Lucifer, aka, again, Satan didn't make you do a damn thing. It's under free will that you decided what you wanted to do, and you are paying the consequences, and you don't want to pay the consequences, so who do you blame? Okay? Who? It's always the blame game. Is the blame game. Not me, not my fault. I didn't do it, that person. You have to look at him or her. It was he that did it, but not me. I was someplace else at the time. I got an excuse. I got an alibi. That type of thing. If somebody would just say yeah, hey, I did it, damn it, and I had fun doing it. I beat up a guy because he was molesting my girlfriend, and I told him that to leave her alone, and I was defending her honor because he might have been drunk or he was just a plain asshole. Yeah, I clocked him, and I'm happy that I did it. You see how easy it is for somebody to admit I did it? Instead of saying Satan made me do it. Go figure. I've been I figured, somebody said to me many years ago, hey Clark, go figure. And I did. And this is the answer I came out with. And I had to thank the guy. Okay, and I had to thank the guy. It was just like, I'll tell you a quick story. In fact, I just told a story just the other day to a friend of mine. I was sitting at the local gin joint and having a couple of drinks, and we got to talking about drinking. Not heavy drinking, but having a few drinks on the weekend or whatever. And somebody asked me, said, well, how long have you been drinking? And I looked at this person, and I said, oh, God, for a long time. Long time. Well, what do you mean, long time? Well, I guess it could, I said, well, I guess you could probably stem it back to my dad. Well, what do you mean, your dad? Well, when I was a year of age, is that my dad got me drunk, and boy, was my mother pissed off about that. I mean, she was really pissed off about that. She said, how could you get my son drunk at the age of 1? And my dad said, very easy. I wanted to shut the kid up, so I gave him a little shot of bourbon. Now, my dad was a doctor, okay? And my mother said, you ever do that to my son? She said, my son, now, not our son. It was, you ever do that to my son? Woe and behold to you. Dad never did. But I said to this friend of mine, I said, if it wasn't for, I said, I always have to thank my dad. If it wasn't for my dad, I would never had the touch of the John Barleycorn. And he laughed. Okay, so now did that one time when I was small, at the age of 1, did I become an alcoholic? No. It's not because it wasn't because of taking the drop or what my dad given me with the shot of bourbon. It's that there's a particular gene that is missing that will cause a person to become an alcoholic. My brother is an alcoholic, and he found this out, is that if you're missing this particular type of gene, is that the chances of you becoming an alcoholic is far greater than if you had this particular gene. Well, he didn't find out about it until he took that one drink during his 16th birthday, and boom, that was it. He was drunk all the time, but he got himself out of that. He hasn't had a drop in 34 years. And he just turned 60, and he just turned 61. So, and he's happy. Plus, also he was a drug addict. Back in the 60s, he wanted to join the hippie movement. But he hasn't had. So, anyways, he's been clean and sober for 34 years, and he's very happy because of willpower. He just decided, hey, I'm not going to drink anymore. Not saying that he's still not an alcoholic, because he'll always be an alcoholic, but he doesn't want to drink or take drugs because he knows exactly what it will do to him. Okay? So, free will, again, is there such thing as Lucifer, aka alias Satan? No. Is there hell? Only what you create through pure willpower to create. Okay. I'm seeing that my producer is giving me the high sign. Again, if you guys watch any of these videos from open the door to the unknown, and if you like to write some questions below, I'll be happy to answer any of the questions that are asked of me. I will be happy to create a special presentation just for a question and answer session, and I hope at some point that I do find questions that I can answer, because I love answering questions. That's how a person learns. Really, that's how a person learns. Okay. The next few opening the door to the unknown is going to be fun. I'm going to get out of the more serious stuff for a while. I'm going to put that stuff aside, and let's have a little fun. I'm going to have a surprise in chapter 4. Believe me, it's going to be fun to do, and like I said, it's going to be a surprise, and I hope, like I said, this is your channel. I'm creating this strictly for you. I don't mind taking the time to create the videos for the videos for you. So like I said, I do hope that you do look at them, in any way that you feel like. You can look at chapter 4, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 1, or you can go right down the line. It's like if you were in in in, uh, in Celestial Vision School of Metaphysical Arts. Okay, the idea again is learning something new. And like I said, I am creating this. I have created this channel for you because, like I said, it does take time to come out with the ideas. It does take time for me sitting here in the studio, and I also get tired after after I close out. Okay, but like I said, chapter four is going to be very interesting. Mark my words. So with that, I'm going to say, like I said, I only got a minute or two here, so there's nothing really I can think of. So, anyways, you guys enjoy life. That's what we're here for. We are here to enjoy life, and remember, there is no Lucifer to Satan, no AKAs. There is no hell. And again, the reason why is that the source, the creator, didn't give the angels what? 4 things: free will, sexual organs, a soul, and wings. Those four things are lacking with the angels. Okay? With that, be well. Everybody be well, be good, enjoy life. This has been a production of Opening the Door to the Unknown in association with Dr. Clark Schmidt. Copyright 2016.